McCarty out of the Houston area, the second leading scorer for this group, and no sophomore slump for her. In fact, she has increased her productivity from last year to this year, better than 4 points from a season ago, averaging 10 a game.
Last year, Brooke was trying to find her groove in college. She didn't step on anybody's toes, but now she's at home here in Texas. She's leaving a mark.
Boy, I don't even think that's such much of the net. I mean, just perfectly through. 2 for Boyette. She averages 12 on the season, and that's a good sign early for Texas.
Well, we got a sense from her yesterday that she's ready to make a statement. This would be a huge win for the program, but more so for herself. She's grown as a player. She's grown as a person, and she's 6'7", knocking down a 3. Are you kidding me?
Davis off the mark there. Jones coming down with the offensive board, and Boyette going to work early on the other end.
She's so versatile. She sizes up, feet are inside, squares up, and nails it. And the bench, they go ham. They love to dance. Look for Jordan Hosey on the bench. She's the leader of the dance movement.
Oh, yeah, she was showing off some moves in the pregame.
Letting them know how H-Town does it.
Jones, the lefty. Over to Davis inside to Kalani Brown, who was an early substitution, high off the glass and good for the freshman. She came in after the first minute or so in this game, and Kalani Brown gives the Bears their first 2. Davenport off the mark. Big win for South Carolina. Their win over Texas A&M as we welcome you into a top 10 showdown from Austin, Texas. Number 6 Baylor on the road against the perfect Texas Longhorns, sitting at 16-0. Alongside Chinea Grumake, I'm Tiffany Green. We'll hear from the third member of our team, Jane Slater, a little later. Baylor has owned the series. They've won 11 straight. They're feeling good right about now in a collision. And the foul called on the Lady Bears. You see right there, Kim Mulkey, already energetic from the bench. Very fiery coach. Love to watch her on the sideline. She's so intense.
That's an understatement.
Rashawn Higgs, the sensational freshman. And take is good. Well, she had her coming out party against Tennessee. And she is again stepping up against another ranked opponent. Back on the other end is Jones.
Yeah, 1-2 punch from 2 very versatile guards. You saw Jones there, but LaShawn Higgs, as you were saying, Coach Aston said, you know when she hits the floor, she's going to do something special. But you don't always know what it is. She can do anything.
Very athletic guard. Grew up around the Harbor Island, Bahamas area, then moved to Round Rock, Texas, in and out for Alexis Prince. But again, the big body inside, the 6'7" freshman from Slidell, Louisiana, Kalani Brown.
Kalani Brown is the X factor inside as a post. She is number 1, number 2, tagging up with her teammate Beatrice Montpriere, shooting 60% field goal percentage as a freshman. I didn't figure that out until I was way later in college.
And completes the three-point play. Well, she's been in double figures the last 2 games. Dropped 12 against West Virginia on Tuesday. Boyette starting to feel it from outside. The 3 is good.
That is the definition of a textbook stretch 4, but not only 4, 5. She can play the center. She can play the 4. She has beautiful soft touch.
She came in shooting 33% from the three-point line. That's her 3rd triple of the season for Boyette. She's got 5 points. Jones being guarded by McCarty, finds her shot, the lefty. No good. Higgs coming back the other way and finds Kelsey Lang shooting on the floor.
Great court awareness by Higgs, forcing a timeout. Texas has come out guns blazing early this first quarter.
So a 5-point advantage early on, and the fans inside the Frank Irwin Center liking what they see as the junior Kelsey Lang and that Longhorn bench fired up. All-American Janae Agumake. I'm Tiffany Green. And, well, Texas scored the first 5 points. And, again, they have looked to Imani Boyette. You said she'd make a difference.
Well, we all know what Imani can do in the paint, but she can also knock down a three in a long-distance shot. Imani, she gets her feet set. She reads her defense. She's forcing the Baylor post to average of 5 blocks per game between the collective sum of them to defend her outside the three. That's something that's very difficult to do.
Alexis Jones, she can knock him down. Her foot was on the three-point line, but she can catch and shoot for this Baylor team, and that's something they'll have to defend. The left hand posted up. Imani Boyette came into this game fired up. Felt like she was overlooked. The wooden midseason list was released, and her name wasn't on it. And she said, you know what, I felt like I've been playing well enough to be on there. I think that provided some material and a charge for her.
She's playing with a chip on her shoulder. So far in this game, we've seen what she's been working on, her left hook, her long distance shot. Wait till she gets to her right.
3 to go on the shot clock. Jones heaves it up for 3. Boyette on the carom.
So far, Baylor has been letting the ball stay in the hands of Alexis Jones. She's a capable scorer, especially one-on-one, but they need to settle into some offense.
And so Kim Mulkey going to her bench early, setting the screen as Khadijah Cave. Another post for this Lady Bears team. And right there, just the length of Kelsey Lang altering and blocking that shot. And again, going back to Boyette on the other end. Called for the traveling violation. Let's send it over to Jane Slater, the third member of our team, with some interesting background on these two coaches.
Hey, Tiffany, well, this is turning into a contentious relationship between the two schools as well as the coaches. You see, Karen Aston was an assistant under Kim Mulkey at Baylor during the 2006-2007 season, and she tells me that she didn't like her former assistant coach's strategy in the Big 12 tournament. She said she didn't like the way that she essentially played all of her starters when they were down 20 against. She said she basically they needed to have a 20-point play. She said Karen and her had discussed that when they were at Baylor, didn't like the way it was. I asked her if there was going to be any bad blood or carryover in this game. She said no. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jane. Janae, look, sometimes you get into it, but you settle things down, and it's all good between the two as LaShawn Higgs now stretching this lead out, 16-9 Baylor.
You're right.
I mean, Texas, rather.
You're right. I mean, referring to what Jane was saying, the loss of Nneka and Nempali last year sort of threw UT for a loop, but they end up emerging in the Big 12 championship tournament game. They lost in the Sweet 16 to UConn. They've had moments where they could grow, and in the offseason, they realized that, okay, maybe we weren't at full power last year, but we can surely be full power this year. Now they're undefeated.
And they have certainly been playing well. So much depth on that bench. Karen Aston has so many tools and weapons to go to. But when you look on the other side for Kim Mulkey, I think you could say the same for her as well.
Completely agree. And with regard to UT's depth and bench, I know these girls. I watched them blossom since they were 10. My younger sisters, they also play basketball, and they were AU teammates to 6 girls on the UT roster. Brooke McCarty, Breonna Taylor, Ariel Atkins. So I've been able to see them mature and improve, and it's been amazing. But that tells you about Texas's talent. The state of Texas having a strong grassroots program where both players on both sides can go to teams and achieve their dreams. It's just been nice to see, you know, as a big sis.
That's right, ripe with talent, coming out of the Houston area, representing H-Town. Somehow you were able to slip out of the Lone Star State.
Yeah, California called.
So Kelsey Lang, little inside-out action, being hounded. Black jerseys all around her. Alexis Jones on the break. The nice dish to Nina Davis, and one.
Oh, turn up. Alexis Jones, beautiful behind-the-back pass to Nina Davis. That's some blind awareness. If there was a street ball tournament going on, I would pick Alexis Jones on my team each and every time. She's so strong one-on-one. She has excellent ball handling. And then to do a no-look pass to Nina Davis, who finishes in transition with contact, that's some Baylor ball. They're balling.
So Nina Davis completes the three-point play out of Memphis, Tennessee. But you go back and talk about Alexis Jones, transferred from Duke after 2 seasons, sat out last year. And you know she is certainly ready to ball out as she's done all year long for the Bears. She's out again on the break, takes it all the way. Yes!
Speaking of Alexis Jones, I knew her when I was in high school. You know, advancing to state. We heard about Irving MacArthur High School where Odyssey Sims played, but they also talked about a young player named Alexis Jones. Got to know her with the USA developmental teams, and she's been strong and skilled and improving her skill.
She's got half of the Lady Bears points, and Christina Higgins blocking that shot.
You can see the players are fired up, ready to go. Any momentum play starting on the inside with Christina Higgins. She gets up quick, and right before that, Jones leading the way, leading the break, and finishing on her own.
That was an area of concern for Karen Aston coming in, trying to make sure their transition defense was in place because players like Alexis Jones can make you pay.
If I were Texas, if I was Coach Aston, I'd be a little worried. The last 4 games, Alexis Jones has averaged 17 points. And in the last game versus West Virginia, she had 14 points in the third quarter alone. She's explosive, and she's starting off well tonight.
So Baylor with their first lead of the ball game. Rodrigo now with 3 personal fouls. Brooke McCarty with 2. So Karen Aston having to call in Jordan Hosey and Ariel Atkins in the blocking foul called underneath.
I think Jordan Hosey, her feet were on the side of the inner circle. If you notice, Baylor's defenders are keyed into Boyette, leading to a quick, easy basket in transition. A foul called. Let's see Jordan's feet. Yep. She's moving too.
So another 3-point opportunity for Nina Davis. Foul trouble hurting the Texas Longhorns as Baylor is on a 12-0 run. So Empress Davenport, Ariel Atkins, LaShawn Higgs, Kelsey Lang, and Imani Boyette in the gray and burnt orange.
Such a strong move by Ariel Atkins. As a guard, she moves to the post, gets posted up, and draws a foul intentionally.
And Atkins, coming out of the Dallas area, returned from an ankle injury after missing 9 games. Having her back in the lineup is huge, scoring better than 10, or rather 9 points a game. You know, she's one of those players who gives you a great boost off the bench.
She is, and the beauty of Texas's depth is that they've allowed her to become herself again, slowly but surely. Whether she was in practice or on the sidelines doing her drills, they knew that she was competing, even though she wasn't on the court.
Coming into this game, Texas had only trailed 16 seconds in conference play, and you see them trying to dig their way out of a 21-17 hole here in the first quarter.
You're right, they get out to fast starts, and it starts with their defense.
Atkins for 3, off the mark. Christy Wallace back the other way, the sophomore out of Australia, then slows it down. Nia Johnson, and then move it around the horn, finds Wallace, got it!
That's good awareness, and that's unselfishness from Alexis Jones. Alexis Jones has had it going on early in the first quarter, but she knew her true 3-point shooter to the left.
So you said, hey look, you don't swing, I'm gonna swing right back, and I'm gonna hit you from the corner. Baylor on a 15-1 run. Well, Baylor, after being down early 5 at the beginning of the game, has stormed back, and they lead by 7 with 1:21 to go in the first quarter, on the road in a very loud and hostile environment inside the Frank Irwin Center.
You're right, it's a rivalry game, and the first few minutes was frenetic, but Baylor has settled in.
Empress Davenport asking for it. The 3-ball is good.
Empress Davenport is a versatile scorer for the perimeter. She's a senior leader. She's the heart and soul of this Texas team. And she was able to not be keyed on, and she made them pay.
Davenport coming off of a double-double performance against Kansas. Continuing it on.
Great awareness for Kelsey Lang to be able to kick it out to Davenport.
And you saw that inside out that you were talking about.
That's what Texas needs. They need it because their production will be crucial for them.
Pull up. Boy, Jones, so fluid in all of her motions. It just looks like any shot she wants, she can have.
Yeah, number one thing on the scouting report I wrote down, baller. Baller.
And she's ballerific already this afternoon. The only score in double figures. Turnover. Out on the break, in transition. Johnson finding Jones. Jones thought about it, hesitated on the shot. Instead, working some clock, gets it back. Boyette and the Longhorns have a chance to put up the last shot of the quarter. Davenport called for the charge.
Heady play by Nia Johnson to know that Davenport wants to get to the rim. She attacks hard. Johnson stands her ground and draws the charge.
And that's her goal, to pick up at least a charge a game. 5 tenths on the clock. And so Baylor took a couple of blows and then decided to flex its muscles. They lead 26-20 after one.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Volkswagen and DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Number 6 Baylor on top after one by 6. Now Karen Aston during the timeout had a few adjustments she wanted to make.
They're wanting to throw the ball out. They're wanting to dribble, throw the ball. They've got their men buried. You don't have a wide open shot in transition. Wait till your big girls get down there and let them settle in, okay?
Yeah, we feel you, Coach Aston. Baylor's run started with easy baskets off of Texas's turnovers. They already have 7 turnovers. So Coach Aston is pleading with her team to be smart with their shots, especially in transition. Make sure that they have rebounders set so every chance is theirs.
Well, they found Boyette. She couldn't connect. After Baylor started 4 of 11 in this ball game, they've been 5 of 7 since. However, Nia Johnson still looking for her first assist.
That record assist.
So much of this offense is created and developed through Nia Johnson. A big part, a motor, as the players said. The Texas players know how important she is. So Texas led 16-9, and then Baylor just went off towards the end of the first quarter, led by Alexa Jones with 10. Jones, stop, pops, drops.
Jones is excellent at reading one-on-one defense, especially when her defender is getting screened. She was able to cross over and finish.
Higgs goes for 3. And last touch by the Lady Bears. Well, the next big Monday, as a part of My Home Court, we've got 2 big games for you at 7 Eastern. Syracuse battles number 9 Duke in the ACC. Then at 9 we head to the Big 12. It's Buddy Hield and number 2 Oklahoma and Ames to take on number 17 Iowa, looking for a little Hilton magic. Both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN.
And that's exactly what you need to do. Baylor is sagging inside, protecting the paint from Imani Boyette, and Tasia Foreman comes in and gives them a much-needed finish on the perimeter.
I mean, you see her presence on the defensive end against Wallace. Good defense there. Higgs going for it once more. Still can't connect from 3. The tip out, Higgs right there, put it on the backboard.
And she better give her teammate Kelsey Lang a high five and appreciation. Kelsey Lang seals out the defense, so Higgs had a wide open lane to the basket.
So Texas coming off a blowout win over Kansas on a Wednesday, 75-38. Meanwhile, Baylor just got by West Virginia. So foul called on the floor, but Tasia Foreman.
Oh yeah, clear out that lane. And just what Texas needs, they need outside shooting to let the post go to work. But if you notice Coach Mulkey, she realized that everyone was getting too many good looks at the basket. Hands are down, shots are going up. They bring in Beatrice Montpremier to help.
Montpremier, the freshman out of Miami. Nice move by Davis. Won't go. You see Montpremier with the rebound. Then Davis, she's there on cleanup duty.
Davis had Boyette and Lang, and she found a window to go in and finish on the other side. That's what you do when you're 5'11" and playing inside the paint.
And another turnover. It's 3-on-2. The and Wallace goes down hard as she's fouled on the way up for that shot.
Nina Davis, she grabs the old board, squeezes in the tiny window. That is tough to do against 6'5" and 6'7".
So Texas with 12 team fouls compared to just 3, as Baylor has made a living at the free throw line so far. They are a perfect 9 for 9.
Baylor's man-to-man position defense, player defense, looks like his own because they're sagging in on the perimeter.
Foul on the floor. Kim Mulkey not pleased with that. Johnson called for the personal. Foreman at the line. And Alexis Prince set the check back in for Johnson, who has 2 personals.
Foul trouble cannot happen for Baylor. If you notice in their one loss against Oklahoma State, they only had 2 true guards active due to Nia Johnson being out. Alexis Jones didn't have a good shooting night. She was 2 for 18. And you can only imagine if that team was out of foul trouble and fully healthy, it might be a battle of the unbeatens right now.
Held to their fewest points in any game the last 5 seasons with 45, and good defense from Boyette and the Longhorns. So Brady Sanders in off the bench for Karen Aston. Sanders just throws it away and hits the official.
And for those watching maybe for the first time this year, Brady used to have red hair. So now she has blonde hair. She looks a little different, but her game is still the same. She brings a lot of energy and spark. Her minutes have diminished due to the new freshman and the incoming depth. But she still is an energetic player that the team looks toward.
Also had off-season a foot injury, so had to repair that broken foot. Alexis Jones, step back. Boyette with the board. So turnovers have been key, or crucial rather, for Texas early on. You said it in your keys, Janae, taking care of the basketball, valuing it. This corner 3 is good from Alexis Prince. Boy, they are happy to have her back in the lineup. 3rd game back healthy. And boy, she adds size to the perimeter for the Lady Bears. Alexis Prince with the touch from the corner, her 2nd 3 of the season. A 10-point lead for the Baylor Lady Bears, and Alexis Jones is just slaying this afternoon. 12 points for the redshirt junior.
She's aggressive. She's scoring one-on-one. People forget, she was the ACC Freshman of the Year before she came over to Texas after an injury. And she's not even reached her peak yet, which is a scary thought. She can score in a variety of fashions, spot up, create off the dribble behind the back, and then get to the rim. Alexis Jones has been the spark so far. 2nd leading scorer, and also second leading assist getter. But it hasn't been all Alexis.
No.
So far, Baylor's doing all the little things. They have more points off of turnovers. They have more second chance points, more fast break points. What's helped Texas is their depth. They're scoring off the bench more than Baylor.
Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Higgs, the spin move. And Brown coming down with it. Both of these teams came in as two of the best defensive teams in the country.
Oh, yeah, they hold it down.
But each of them not able to contain
each other.
The other because as fifth best in the nation, Texas at 32.7% in terms of field goal percentage defense. Baylor shooting 46%.
And it's a good sign to see Alexis Prince out there. She's been in limited minutes in the previous games, but she must be feeling good tonight. She knocked down the three. She's stepping back right now. Unfortunately, air ball. But it's a good sign for Baylor to come.
Sanders waits for everyone to trot up the floor. And Kelsey Lang was asking for it as she has the size advantage over Prince instead.
And as you were
take from Foreman.
As you were saying, Kelsey Lang asking for it led to an open drive again by Foreman.
Alexis Jones has been the highlight of this first half so far. Nina Davis, the 16-footer won't go. A foul underneath the floor. A little more from what's happening in the Texas huddle. Let's check in with Jane Slater.
Well, Tiffany, Karen's been really giving her team an earful as they've been coming in there in the huddles. The biggest thing for her right now, she really wants them to slow down. They're trying to get to the basket a little bit too fast. She wants them to rely a little bit more on the post players, Kelsey Lang and Boyette. We're seeing them try to get them a little bit more involved here, guys.
Thanks, Jane. You see the attempt to get it into Boyette, but it's knocked away. Jones back the other way. So this is her 15th game with 10 or more points. She is rolling this afternoon. Got 14. Sanders gets short.
And you can tell they are trying to force it in. And in that last turnover, they were telegraphing their pass, leading to a steal and another easy basket for Alexis Jones.
They were playing in the arena earlier. Just got to shake it off. Well, they've got to try to shake off these Lady Bears. Take the advice of Taylor Swift.
They do.
Davis, Jones and company. So strong this afternoon. Kelsey Lang corrals it. And another turnover for Texas.
And due to the foul situation, we have Tasia Foreman playing the point guard. Usually it's Brooke McCarty or Selena Rodrigo, so she's getting big-time minutes today.
Texas averaging about 16 turnovers a game. They've already got 13. Wallace off the screen and trying to take him. Well, she's clearing out some space as Bowman will not get out of her face. Prince gets her own rebound, and the Lady Bears reset.
Great one-on-one defense by Foreman. Even though there was a foul technically that wasn't called, she stayed within herself. It's just they have to pick up that loose ball before Alexis Prince.
We expected a very physical contest as Imani Boyette with the block. Serve notice saying don't bring it inside of here. Then they try to feed her on the other end. And she's pushed in the back.
That's what you have to do. Your post is working. Your post is playing defense, gets a big block. Tasia Foreman had the foresight to see Imani run the floor hard and reward her. They drew the foul.
And one of the things that, we've seen Boyette do this season is really take advantage of the fact that she's been healthy. The last couple of years it's been tough starts because she's fought off injury, missed the first 8 games last year because of a left leg injury, but she looks to be in great shape. And Coach Aston says she's not only looking good physically, but also mentally as well.
Absolutely. She was the 2015 Honda Inspiration Award winner and female Big 12 Sports Person of the Year. She stared multiple phases and forms of adversity in her eyes as a child, but she emerged stronger using art and poetry as her outlet. She's got a creative soul. She inspires us all.
Amazing story, and I'm sure that was a freeing experience for her as well.
Also getting married.
Yeah. And the hubbies
so
in the audience.
He is. And he has the cutest t-shirt. It says hubby on the back. I was like, brownie points for you, sir, Mr. Paul.
Mary Paul Boyette. So Higgs, nice drive to the bucket, can't finish. As Baylor up by 12, Davis helps them extend that lead to 14.
Baylor is doing it with easy baskets in transition. They're setting up half-court sets. They're getting offensive rebounds. Texas has to find a way to find good offense. Get the right shot.
Nice contingent from Waco in the stands as Foman goes to the floor hard. Johnson sees that one pop in and out. The same for Cade.
And Texas is lucky to come up with that rebound. Half of their team was on the other side of half court.
Well, this is the largest deficit of the season for Texas, a team who is accustomed to getting off to fast starts thus far.
We'll see what they're made of. And Imani, you can tell it means a lot to her. She hasn't gotten the ball inside because of the pressure inside from Baylor, but she is relentless, and the best way to score if your offense is struggling is on the old board.
And she hasn't beat Baylor since she's been here. You think back to 2012 and a program that was looking a lot different than it is now. And so she is hungry for success and rebuilding the legacy here in Texas.
And there's another loose ball that needed to go to Texas.
So about 5 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. And after Texas led by as many as 7, the Baylor Bears out to their largest lead of the game as they hand it right back over. A collision between Nia Johnson and Kelsey Lang, and that's Lang's 3rd personal. So coming up, the Land Rover halftime report. South Carolina survives a close one against Texas A&M, and the tough Terps as well.
Yeah, South Carolina sort of had 9 lives this season. Yeah. I've seen some games where they've slithered out with one, but that's because they're a talented team and they find a way to get it done.
Direction there was Lang's 2nd personal foul, so 5.1 remaining on the clock. And the Bears with an opportunity to go into the locker room. Oh, they couldn't get the shot that they wanted. Well, it was an interesting first half, to say the least, today. Exactly what we expected to see between 2 top 10 teams.
It is, and they're both very similar, especially statistically, but you can't give the ball to a team that's very good in transition and can set it up in offense.
We'll send it over to our Jane Slater, who's standing by with Baylor head coach Kim Mulkey.
Coach, you guys were slow to start, but really turned it up. What was the difference?
Our defense. I thought that we started playing better defense in what we're trying to do.
Keys of the second half.
Continue to do what you're doing, but don't let them come out the first 5 minutes of the second half and get back in the game. Extend the lead. I didn't think we did a very good job with Nia Johnson on the bench and just executing and getting a good look.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Our halftime score, 41-29. Now here's the Land Rover halftime report with Doug Kazarian and Carol Alston in the studio.
Tiffany, thank you very much. Welcome into the Land Rover halftime report. So Baylor's undefeated, or excuse me, Texas is undefeated, the higher ranked team, but Baylor has dominated this rivalry and kind of dominating the first half, up 12.
They are, and Texas has to do a better job of securing the basketball, not turning it over. Double-digit turnovers in the first half. That's led to Baylor having 18 points off of those turnovers. And you heard Kim Mulkey say we adjusted our defense and a little more bringing more defenders into the post players. You saw Imani Boyette and Kelsey Lang kind of have their way early on. Texas got out to a lead. So what did Baylor do to adjust? Multiple defenders in the post, changing the rhythm of that post player, forcing turnovers, and then they get out in transition and they convert. The strength of Texas on the offensive end is on the interior, but their post players have to handle, are they coming? Are they really coming? Can I still score? And that's what you do when you bring a double team, is you throw off the balance and you make the post player think, is there a double team? Is there not a double team? And you bring that indecisiveness into the picture. Great job by Baylor on the defensive end.
Texas, one of 3 undefeated standing in women's basketball, down 12 on the ropes. We'll see what the second half has in store.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Beautiful day here in Austin, Texas, as the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns trailing at the half, 41-20 line alongside Chinea Gwumake. I'm Tiffany Green, and we saw Texas get out to a quick lead, but then Baylor able to separate themselves by 12. What was the difference?
Well, Baylor's offense has been fueled by Nina Davis and Alexis Jones. Alexis Jones is one of the best one-on-one scorers in the nation, and that has been on exhibition today. She creates for herself, attacks the basket, and draws fouls. She's a threat everywhere on the court.
And Nina Davis as well, a nice complimentary piece as the All-American has 10 points.
Yeah, Nina's output has decreased, and she's transitioned to the 3 due to injury, Alexis Princess. But that hasn't stopped her. She's brought the ball up in transition, found seams on old boards, and capitalized when Texas has had a smaller lineup.
Well, Texas fighting off foul trouble in the first half. Rodrigo had 3, and then 5 other players with 2. So Karen Aston had something to say to her team at the half. Let's listen in.
We have 14 turnovers. Okay, so possession game. The possession game, we're giving up. Everything about the possession game is about turnovers and offensive rebounds. And those 2 things we have ruled on. And now all of a sudden we have 13 fouls and we've given up 8 offensive rebounds.
Starting off picking up where she left off, rather from the first half. The 3 ball is good, and to Karen Aston's point, you know, the Lady Bears have taken away a lot of the strengths of Texas.
And what Coach Aston is probably reminding them is that they have to control what they can control.
Brooke McCarty answering on the other end. She had 2 personals in the first half, so she was not as much of a factor, but with her back on the floor, she can be a big-time scorer if needed for Texas.
Yeah, Brooke only played 7 minutes. Selena Rodrigo, her partner in crime, only played 4, so if they're out there, it could be a whole different ball game this second half.
A strong move to the hole, rather to the basket for Davis, going right up there against the 6'7" Boyette. Put back there from Ariel Atkins.
That was a 4 shot by Ariel Atkins. She had defenders coming behind her, in front of her, but luckily her teammate had her back and got her on the old board.
So Alexis Jones with a spectacular first half. And the Baylor Lady Bears able to take care of the basketball, points off turnovers, 18-9, a category where they excelled. And another fast break opportunity, slows it down, does Jones, but another turnover for Texas. Right there, nobody to account for Davis.
That was a laser. Cross-court pass should never happen against defenses. Hands have to be up, you have to deflect that. But they always have Nina Davis as a target.
Atkins. And let's look at another look at that. That was pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, her strength and conditioning coach must be hyped. That's some bicep strength right there. And it was an anticipatory pass to where Nina Davis was going.
And Davis coming off a couple of cool games, if you will. 8 points in just the last 2 games. And she is continuing to look strong here this afternoon.
But
with
she's
14.
fearless.
Yeah.
She's absolutely fearless at 5'11". Usually she plays inside, but she's moved outside to the perimeter. She shot 3s in that Oklahoma State loss. She hit 3 threes, so she had a bright spot, a bright moment with her improvement.
The All-American had 24 against the Sooners. And Baylor, who was at the free throw line quite frequently through the first 2 quarters, still perfect from the charity stripe. Montpelier, nice Nice move down low from the freshman.
It's a smart move. When you're going up against Imani Boyette, who has long arms and can change shots, she uses the rim to protect her. She goes onto the other side and draws a foul. Imani was being aggressive, but she let her hands come down.
McDonald's All-American, Montpelier out of Miami. Well, Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN, we've got Illinois taking on Indiana. Then at 9, even the president knows how good Ben Simmons is. He leads LSU against Jalen Jones and the 15th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com, also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Empress Davenport was able to draw that foul. One thing that Texas does extremely well is they get high outlets to the guards so that they're nearly at half court when they take their first dribble, and the defense of Baylor was not ready for it.
In these next few offensive possessions, as Texas is trying to work their way back into it, what do you see that they need to do to make sure they continue to at least keep this close?
They don't need to give them the ball. They need to take smart shots, and I think it starts with Brooke McCarty.
Well, not the shot you want there if you're Karen Aston, off the fingertips of Jordan Hosey, because Alexis Jones coming back on the other end from downtown.
Bad shots lead to good shots for the other team.
And Nia Johnson picked up that assist, now the Big 12 career record leader for assists.
And she's going to destroy it. She has so many games left.
Coach Mulkey talked about just the importance and the value of a point guard like that who can create opportunities, the epitome of that. And I think she can obviously pull off of that, being a former point guard herself. So Johnson passes Texas Tech's Aaron Grant, the Big 12 all-time career assist leader. And more to come, like you said, Shanae.
Nia Johnson, she has a special relationship with Coach Mulkey. Coach Mulkey was a great point guard at Louisiana Tech, actually recruited Kalani Brown's mom to Louisiana Tech, and now she's left her legacy with Baylor. So they have that super connection, that court vision.
McCarty, Rodrigo, early foul trouble kept them out of the game in the first half. Plenty of opportunity. Not a lot of movement for this Texas defense, but great recognition there. And Higgins blocking another shot. Well, the post play for Baylor is just so good. It's consistently good through the years when you think back to the Brittany Griners of the world. And Coach Mulkey has some prime talent down in the paint.
And then they're also getting next year the #1 recruiting class with Lauren Cox. But man, we're talking about the post. They are versatile, not just on offense with Nina and Christina, but on defense, all having their hands active, deflecting the ball, whether they get the steal or the block, they're just there, and they play true position defense, staying within themselves.
Talking about that recruiting class, the #2 recruit in the nation, Joyner Holmes, going to Texas. 4 of the players on the ESPN Heat girls going to these 2 schools. That's Davenport for 3.
Empress is the senior leader, and she knows when they need a basket, it should be her.
Durable and committed point guard, knowing this system. And just so tough to defend. You know, what is the answer going to be to slow down Alexis Jones?
There is no answer. You have to send, at this point, probably trap her, force her backwards. So far, she's been receiving screens and coming downhill. And Empress Davenport, she's guarding Alexis Jones right now. Turn up, Alexis. Just turn up. Empress Davenport is guarding Alexis Jones, and she usually takes the toughest defender on the perimeter. Whether it was Victoria Vivian's in Mississippi State, to Tennessee's talented perimeter.
And Davenport trips up Johnson. The Irwin Center watching their Texas Longhorns down 56-39.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Crispy M&M's. So good, they're back.
And it's about a 3-hour trip for this one, guys.
And thanks so much, Jane. And you think the players that Jones got to play next to, Trisha Liston, Chelsea Gray. She learned a lot from
Elizabeth Williams. That's my Connecticut
so
teammate. I had to throw it in there.
So many great players and two terrific programs in women's college basketball. She said, I learned a lot from both, but the decision to come home was important for me, and she's settling right in.
She is, and on that last possession, Imani Boyette took it at Nina Davis, and Nina Davis did not flinch.
Johnson, not known for knocking down the outside shot, but she could do it when necessary, averaging 7 a game.
Most people know from Coach Conrad, the legendary Coach Conrad, they love back to the basket, man-to-man. But that time they went into the zone, and Johnson was able to make them pay. If you notice, acrobatic pass by Prince. Jones sizes up where her defense is and knocks it down. Nia knows best.
Nia knows best. The motor of this team. And you see that nice pass by Prince.
She looks
rubbing
good.
off.
She
rubbing
looks
off,
healthy.
you know. I wonder who has, like, the best assists. Who's had, like, the best assists this season? Nia has several of them, but as a team, they're averaging better than 23 a game.
And Nia's responsible for almost 11 of them. But it's not just her. Everyone is unselfish. Alexis has had it going on early, but then she looks for her teammates along with Prince. You can tell that they're a collaborative unit out there, especially on offense.
Baylor, who has owned the Big 12, Boyette reaching out. And pushing that Davis shot out of the way, but for Baylor, you know, they're a team that's really run the Big 12, won 5 straight regular season titles. Texas trying to get over that hump and turn the corner. They need this win this afternoon if they want to stay perfect in the Big 12. And around the league, you see the top 2 teams duking it out here today. Iowa State right behind them, and then West Virginia, who's certainly no slouch. I mean, they give everybody a run for their money, as they did Baylor this week.
Yeah, it was a competitive home game. The fans were fired up in the Farrell Center, and Alexis Jones had it going. Christy Wallace as well.
Jones had 14 of her 20 points in the third quarter, and Cave coming up with a couple of clutch shots in the closing minutes to give Baylor a 69-64 victory, as Boyette now with her 9th double-double of the season following those free throws. 11 points, 13 rebounds. And Jones, the 16-footer, just short.
Yeah, the fans want it. They want defense, because then it can lead to easy baskets like this by Empress Davenport on offense. But you got to finish those.
Yeah.
You have to. It's a must. Now it's a 3-on-2 downhill.
Nowhere to go, it seemed, for Jones. Prince is on the perimeter, and now the Lady Bears set up their offense with the take. And Davis, again, offensive rebounds, now 11 for Baylor.
Offensive rebounds, when you do get those, the defense is out of position because it's the second rebound. Prince shoots it, goes over Kelsey Lang's hands, and Boyette brings her hands down, and Davis just never gives up.
Boyette with 3 personal fouls. So she's got to be careful.
That probably means nothing to her. She's been playing this whole game with the uncharted waters level of intensity.
Spin move, and then the elbow jumper. There's Rodrigo pushing it back the other way. And McCarty wants it. 3 is good!
Smart choice by Rodrigo. She had Boyette at the top and McCarty to the left, and McCarty is the most improved and leading the team in 3-point shot and shooting percentage. Now they need to get stopped.
And she's perfect from downtown this afternoon. That rouses excitement from this crowd. A block by Lang. McCarty, Davenport, got it! Oh, but don't count out the Texas Longhorns.
Now Kelsey Lang stands her ground. She finds the high outlet in Brooke McCarty. Empress Davenport, the senior leader, knows how much this means to her to get a win, hopefully for the first time since 2010, and finishes. She just needs to put the icing on the cake and nail it from the free throw line.
And that's what's key. Defense leading to offense.
What Baylor has done the entire game, but now it's a role reversal.
And now the lead has been cut to 10 as Texas on a 9-0 run over the last minutes and counting.
And now we're playing small ball. The subs have come in. Jordan Hosey guarding Nina Davis. Christina Higgins and Kelsey Lang, not 6'7".
Fans are to their feet inside the Frank Irwin Center. Wallace, what a tough shot.
With the silencer, she's known for her three-point shot, but she's done such a great job improving her ability to read the secondary defense, and she pulls up in contact and finishes.
Lang, great position. And that one, Higgins got a piece of that. Number 6 Baylor, number 4 Texas, and McCarty just kind of being a nag on Nia Johnson. And that's a big one right there. The offensive foul off the set pick from Higgins.
That was a smart play by McCarty to end the quarters. Baylor always sets a high pick and roll, 1-4 low, and she just played textbook defense. The screener was not set, and now they have the ball back.
Now hear this, Trinae. That was Baylor's first turnover since the first quarter. Texas is a team that forces better than 18 a game this season. Tonight, they've held, rather the Lady Bears have only committed 6. And that one is missed by McCarty. Higgs tried to show that she was shooting, but not in time. So down by 12, and it's high intensity, high energy here in Austin, Texas. 2 top 10 teams tussling.
If you don't feel like you've got a great shot, kick it back out. We have to have great possessions, y'all. We can't waste anymore. You are not playing together as a team. Okay? Let's go! Come on!
Karen Aston fired up and ready to go. Let's see how our Longhorns respond out of this timeout after Baylor took a 19, or was up by 19 with 3:27 left in the third quarter. Texas has gone on an 11-2 run.
You're right, man. The intensity has turned up, and Coach Aston actually started that in the offseason. She's empowered her players to be confident and aggressive offensively. That creates sometimes bad shots, but it can also stir the momentum back to your team like it's doing right now.
And she asked her team to take good shots, great shots. It was a good look there from Davenport, just didn't go. And for more on the Texas huddle, let's send it over to our Jane Slater.
Yeah, Tiffany, she just really keeps preaching the importance of the post play. She's really getting after Kelsey Lang. She said, you know, you can't be under the basket and look up. You got to go up there and get the ball. She says that's what Baylor is doing well, and Texas needs to do a better job of.
Thanks so much, Jane. And considering you thought that Kelsey Lang was the X factor, what are your thoughts?
I think she's doing a good job tonight. Obviously, the last possession she had in the basket, she could have finished if she took her time or carved out more space. And she has to do that not only on offense to finish her shots, but also on defense to grab the rebounds.
We've seen a lot of whistles
as of late
this afternoon, and many of them have pointed in the direction of the Texas Longhorns. Ariel Atkins with 3 personals. We saw Empress Davenport just go to the bench. She has 4. Boyette playing with 3, and what a circus shot. You know,
how does she do it? The defense came over, and that defense was 6'7" Imani Boyette. And she acrobatically moved the ball up and down, double juggled it, and finished.
The 5'11" forward in Davis
double pumped.
Was showing great defensive pressure on the other end and making that shot difficult for Lang. Throws that up right into the body of Kelsey Lang. And let's look at Nina Davis. I mean, she takes that up strong.
This was textbook pick and roll. Christy Wallace gets a closeout, and then she double pumps and finishes with a right at Imani. Imani, you did what you're supposed to do. She just superstar.
Working her way around to the All-American and the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, McCarty. That's her first miss from downtown this afternoon.
It's a well set up play. You can't be mad with that offense. A pin down screen for your shooter to come up top. She was in rhythm. She shot it. Hopefully those will go for them to come back.
So Texas looking for their first win against Baylor since March 7th of 2010. That one tipped out and over the back, called on Cade.
That was remarkable court awareness by Alexis Jones. She had the lane, but at the end of the lane was Imani Boyette. She turned the corner, went baseline, found an open shooter.
Karen Aston has never won against Baylor. She was 0-7 against the Lady Bears. Atkins finds Lang on the inbound. The mid-range jumper is true.
Coach Aston has asked more of Kelsey Lang, as Dane had mentioned, and she responded. Now they need the defense.
Swings it over. Jones thought about it. She was run off.
Excellent defense by Texas. They read the scouting report. They ran Jones off the three-point line. The secondary defense helped Kane. Brooke McCarty closed out. That's exactly what you need to force turnovers so you have more chances at offense.
We'll step aside. 12-point lead for the 6th-ranked Baylor Bears. she had a great one on Alexis Jones and talking about her decision to come back to the state of Texas.
As an alumni of the game of women's college basketball, it's a great time to play. Any team can leave their marks. You see Ohio State with Kelsey Mitchell, and there are great teams out west as well that I've had the privilege to get to know. So it can be anything in March, any team.
The big thing is, though, there's a giant in women's college basketball.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
all chasing the UConn Huskies.
They are.
They've won 3 straight national championships. Trying to get their fourth. These two teams want a chance to
compete.
Knock off. Yeah, to try to compete and knock off and say, look, I'm on the scene now.
But the beauty of conference is that it prepares you for the tournament. As we see Nina Davis working inside. No team will scout you better than your conference foe. So Texas will learn a lot from the way Baylor defended them. And Baylor will learn what they have. They're young, even though they have an experienced core and talented core. But these teams could be 2 different teams come later at the end of conference.
2 national titles for Kim Mulkey and the Baylor Bears, the last one coming in 2012. And a nice strip there from McCarty. McCarty on the break and finishes it off.
Baylor had run that play earlier, and McCarty had good position on both times they ran it. She read that Nina Davis likes to drive right. She got her hands active and was able to finish in transition.
Alexis Jones crossing over, taking it to the hoop. She's fouled on the way up.
Her ability to create off the dribble is just unparalleled, honestly, on the Baylor perimeter. And she crosses over and gets you out of position, got Kelsey laying out of position. And that's one thing this final quarter the Baylor guards have been able to do, get into the paint and draw fouls on the bigs. Force Imani Boyette to go to the subs.
On the next big Monday, as a part of My Home Court, we've got 2 big games for you at 7 Eastern. Syracuse and Duke go at it in the ACC. Then at 9, we head to the Big 12. Oklahoma and Iowa State, both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Jones with 23 points, just 2 shy of her career high, which she collected earlier this season back on January 3rd against Oklahoma.
And so speaking to members of their coaching staff, she's not even at 100%. She's still coming off of that injury, but after watching today, you'd think she's 100%.
Khadijah Cave is tweeting, so take a moment to clean up the court. But Alexis Jones, you mentioned coming off injury. She had an ACL injury, 2 rather, one in the left, and then she had a microfracture in the other. So she underwent reconstructive ACL surgery prior to coming to Baylor. And she said that time out last year, she had to sit out because of transfer rules, did her a lot of good. She said it did my knees certainly a lot of good.
Oh yeah, I'm on that struggle bus team. I understand that. I've dealt with an injury, and the key to that is taking your time, and that not only helps you on the court, but off the court, mentally being ready to compete.
Higgs right there, and thankfully her teammate Boyette on the putback. Down by 14. Johnson, hesitation. And gets the friendly bounce.
Johnson read the pick and roll perfectly. The defense is sagging off because she doesn't shoot from the perimeter often, and she uses the floater.
McCarty all along in the corner.
But Brooke answers. You can't forget her. You cannot forget her. She's 5'4". They found her in her sweet spot.
The sophomore out of League City, Texas, has 14. Can that ignite the Longhorns? Boyette off the Wallace miss, and Higgs losing her balance, able to save it before she falls.
And this time she'll bring it up, set the offense, using Brooke McCarty as a 2 just in case they can find her to hit a shot, but she takes it herself.
The elbow jumper, no good. They find McCarty again. Wallace quick there to close out. McCarty taking it all the way. Yes!
She said, hey, Nia, you can hit a floater. I can hit a floater, too. And there's great balance and versatility on the Texas perimeter, especially right now. They're attacking the basket and finding open shooters. Not just Brooke, LaShawn as well.
And Brooke McCarty guarding Nia Johnson. She's heating it up on the offensive end, and she's had a pick on the defensive end. Keeping her feet, 4 to go on the shot clock. Hands it over, Johnson floats it up there.
That play started with, the rebound started with Brooke McCarty's tough on-ball defense, and Christina Higgins was worried about setting an illegal screen last time. Now that's an easy basket, an open shot.
Rodrigo!
And Brooke is laser focused on defense, obviously making baskets on offense, but they're a tandem. Selena and Brooke, they eat together, they drink, they chill, they do homework. They're best friends.
Yeah, that cuts the lead to 8 for Texas. The 4th-ranked Longhorns looking to snap an 11-game losing streak. And unable to complete the bunny is Higgins. Another opportunity for Texas. Running the floor. Lang called for the charge. Good position there by Nina Davis on the other end to draw the charge. And Karen Aston is absolutely livid. So the charge, and boy, this crowd is charged up. Line for Karen Aston's team, down by 8 to Baylor, and that last call before going to the break, Nina Davis appears to be maybe going left, get her feet set.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. It seemed like she was drifting. That caused a reaction from coach.
I mean, she erupted off the bench. I mean, her assistants and the staff had to bring her back in and settle her down. And for good reason, because now down the stretch, every call is important.
She knows what's at stake. Her team has worked so hard this preseason and in conference. A play like that can change the course of the game.
We'll see how the Longhorns respond.
Still in man-to-man defense.
And McCarty.
She has been laser focused on Nia Johnson.
Absolutely.
She's staying low. She gets her hands. She deflects the ball and is in the right position to force that offensive foul.
McCarty, what a difference she's made. 3 points in just the first 2 quarters. Here in the second half, she's got 13. And if you're Boyette, you call your own number.
If you're Boyette, you play big. She read the defense, took the time, looked for her teammates, realized she had the shot, and she took it.
And remember, she's playing with 4 fouls along with Kelsey Lang.
If I were Baylor, I would not give her that shot. She's proven that she can hit it all the way back to 3.
So it's a 6-point ball game between 2 Big 12 rivals. Texas undefeated in the league, and Alexis Jones before the shot clock expires. Well, she's just having one of those kind of nights. She ties her career high with 25. And look at Higgs, just going after it.
Could have been an ill-advised shot early into the shot clock, but she pursues it. But man, this is almost impossible to guard. Reading the defense, steps right behind the screen and finishes from the perimeter.
Just silky smooth. I'll tell you, Brian Hall, Roy Goldman, and Meta Roberts have had a very busy afternoon.
They've had their hands full, but they've done a good job controlling the tempo of the game. Keeping it from getting too physical with 2 teams that have huge bigs, big players, quick, athletic.
And a quick conference on the court.
But man, it sort of feels like that Alexis jumper was a dagger. They're looking to see if that was a three-point shot. They're about to go check it out. Ooh, it looks good to me.
Yep.
That's one look, though, but...
I mean, like a tiptoe.
And the crazy thing is she's a lefty.
Yeah.
And it looks like she pushed off also with her right. She's willing herself to score for this team right now.
You can feel this intensity continuing to build, the rivalry growing more and more contentious and heated. Well, tonight, don't miss SportsCenter at night with Steve Levy and John Buccigrass. They'll have the highlights and breakdowns from the Seahawks, Panthers, and Steelers, Broncos, as well as a big night in the NBA, Heat, Thunder, Mavs, Spurs in your day on a highlight with SportsCenter at night tonight on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. So we're witnessing two of the top 10 teams in the AP poll. Texas at number 4, a perfect record on the line. Baylor 17-1 on the season. South Carolina narrowly escaping Texas A&M earlier today. This is the second time this week that we've had a top 10 showdown in women's college basketball. Earlier this week it was South Carolina taking down number 9 Kentucky. And here we have two of the best in the Big 12. See the gentleman in white with the big Bevo on his shirt, the Longhorn on his shirt. That's Texas football player Paul Boyette, who so happens to be Imani Boyette's husband.
You want to know something funny? I found out that she got engaged through Snapchat.
What?
So again, my little sisters are friends with the teammates of Texas, and I saw on Snapchat the celebration. Her whole team was there to celebrate. It was just so cute.
That's that new age stuff.
It is the new age, girl. You know I like old school, but that's some new age coolness.
Boyette with 17 boards. She had a career high 18 against Baylor, so one short of that. She has 15 points as well, and she came out ready to play and on fire.
She did, and she was able to be successful inside, attacking the basket, stretching them out, the defense out to 3, but Baylor keyed in on her after that first quarter. They doubled, they tripled.
And one more look at that Alexis Jones shot. It looks to be a 3 to me.
Yeah, it looks like a 3 for sure.
Both officials discussing it. So think, Texas comes out to start the game, scoring their first 5 points, and then Baylor goes on like a 26-9 run. They end the half strong, and somehow, someway, they were up by as many as 19. But Texas not giving in, not giving up. And we've got a great ball game down the stretch, 1:14 remaining.
Yeah, the replay was inconclusive, so they kept it at 2.
All right. It looked to be a 3 to me, but
almost under a minute.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence. One for low again. This is the go-to clutch offense for Baylor.
The Lady Bears lose a timeout off of that challenge. Low on the shot clock, 5 to go. Nia Johnson for 3. And Cave coming up with the offensive board. And that's what's helped Baylor keep this lead.
Texas did almost everything correct. Nia Johnson is not known for her three-point shooting. They defended the post, but Khadijah Cave, she knew where to be at the right time, has a nose for the basketball, and brings the old board and kills some more time for the Baylor Lady Bears.
So Alexis Jones at the free throw line, and remember, off of that challenge, it was inconclusive. Baylor loses a timeout. So they have 1 remaining.
Baylor being smart, sending their entire team back so they'll be set up for defense.
A new career high as Alexis Jones now has 27. Got to get up a quick shot here. You figure Brooke McCarty not on the floor, rather in the corner. It's Boyette. Circles in and out. And Johnson up ahead to Jones. Wisely pulls it out.
Texas can't be down on their effort today. It's looking like Baylor's going to walk away with it, but it was a fight all the way to the end. They're a young team. They were in foul trouble. They had turnovers. This will be a character builder for them.
On the next big Monday, as a part of My Home Court, we've got 2 games for you. Syracuse and Duke go at it. Then at 9, it's Oklahoma and Iowa State. Both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Well, you can't hang your head if you're the Texas Longhorns, as you mentioned. A great effort, but an even better one as Higgs puts up 2 by the Baylor Lady Bears. And foul trouble was a big storyline here this afternoon. Baylor going to the free throw line 21 times, and they hit 20 of those free throws.
Yeah, Brooke McCarty and Selena Rodrigo, they're on the bench for a big portion of the first half, and they're the floor general for Texas. And they also fouled a lot, coming out of help defense, being out of position, bringing their hands down. They gave too many easy baskets, too many easy looks at the rim, especially in transition, to the Lady Bears offense. An offense that is shooting normally 50% as a team, number 3 in the nation at that. You don't want to give them too many gimmies.
So Texas will suffer their first loss of the conference. Both will be tied at first. Each team will move their conference record to 5-1. And depending upon who that foul is, Boyette, before it's called on LaShawn Higgs. But you look at this Baylor team, they've got a lot of goods. Nina Davis, Alexis Jones, they shine bright this afternoon.
Nina and Alexis and Nia, probably not her most stellar night with the assists, but still her teammates have her back. Again, averaging 13 assists outside of her. They're balanced inside and out, spot-up shooters, people that can create their own offense like we saw with Alexis Jones, and then posts that are smart with their finishing, keeping the ball high.
You see Nina Davis's numbers on the afternoon. A great ball game this afternoon. And the Baylor Bears were just on fire. Compliments of Miss Alexis Jones.
Oh yeah, she had the hot hand entering the matchup, and she did not disappoint. She's excellent one-on-one, and when she gets the screen, the basket just keeps getting bigger.
You can't forget about Nina Davis as well.
She's the reigning All-American, reigning Big 12 Player of the Year. She's moved out to the perimeter, and her skills, ball handling, passing, and even scoring, finding ways to the rim, have truly improved. She does it all for the Lady Bears.
53 points combined between those 2 ladies. And for Alexis Jones, a career performance this afternoon against the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns.
Ladies and gents, she's arrived.
Yeah.
She is here, this time in a Baylor uniform.
The reigning Big 12 champs. Baylor Lady Bears looking stronger and stronger. Another timeout taken on the court. Now, if you go back to that Big 12 championship game last season, not so good of blood between Kim Mulkey and Karen Ashton. Jane Slater talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Baylor was up big by 20. And Karen Ashton continued to press, and that didn't necessarily sit well with Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, even right now, 2 late timeouts, a little not the usual. But yeah, in that Big 12 championship game, the decision to keep the starters in and press, probably a little controversial between the 2, but different strokes for different folks. Texas obviously used that game as momentum to fuel their offseason, and they're undefeated. Unfortunately, going to suffer their first loss, but both programs have something to look forward to.
A good look at what's happening all across the country in women's Division I basketball. UConn, well, all they do is win. They just don't stop. It just never seems like you can knock them off. And in a year where it feels like a lot of teams, like you mentioned, Sinead, could compete with them. Impressive down the stretch, beating two big opponents, ranked opponents this season. Actually, this week for South Carolina, the second-ranked Gamecocks beat Kentucky and then Texas A&M.
Yep,
and then Tennessee, they got to try to bounce back. Nia Johnson steals the inbound, and that pretty much does it. Turnovers were big, and a foul there at the end from Imani Boyette.
Yeah, like you were saying, speaking to the state of the game, Tennessee, they have a big test coming up against Notre Dame. They've lost 2 of their last 3. That will be a huge game coming up.
It's coming up on Big Monday tomorrow. As Boyette fouls out, 15 points and 17 boards.
Wow, 17 rebounds. You know, she's an accounting major, and she wanted to average a double-double and shoot 65%. She did that tonight.
That's ball game. Baylor wins it, 80-67. An excellent performance tonight from Alexis Jones. Coming up next, golf, the Latin American Amateur Championship for Sinead Agwumake, James Slater, and our entire crew. I'm Tiffany Green saying so long from Austin.